Great thing about getting into adventure riding is that there's always plenty of advice for beginners. However, is the advice you're giving actually empowering them to be a better rider, or are you inflicting your help on them? Here's a bunch of tips to ensure that your advice doesn't suck, and also just try to ignore the self-evident irony that I'm giving this unsolicited advice via a video. Over the past decade, I've been working as a business coach. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's a government agency or a large corporation. The one thing that I've learned is advice is easy to give. The challenge is in receiving it. So as an advice giver, you've got to make sure that your delivery is with the intent of helping. Now, my first tip here is to prepare the person for receiving advice. Ask them if they want to receive advice, and that can be as simple as, hey mate, can I give you some advice? If you kick off your advice with, hey, you're doing it wrong, then anything you say from that point forward is not going to be taken in. How you present your advice matters. You've also got to remember that this isn't a TED talk you're giving at the local servo. You're actually intending on helping someone with that advice. So the first thing to do is ask questions, because it may be that what you're seeing as the problem may actually be the symptom, not the cause. Instead of saying stand up as the advice, tell them, hey, you're doing great, you'll be standing up in no time. You're at least implanting the action that we're looking for than the thing that will actually help them. You're not forcing it onto them, but you're also trying to understand what problem we're actually trying to solve. Not everything works for everyone. There might be some advice that's worked brilliantly for you in the past, but everyone is riding a different bike. They have different bodies, they have different intentions and what they actually want from adventure riding. So that one piece of advice that worked really well for you in the past isn't necessarily going to work for everyone. People ride differently because they are different, and that's okay. Another big one for me is to meet people where they're at. Now, this means that when you become really experienced in adventure riding, you've got to try and remember what state of mind people were in when they first started. And a lot of the advice when you're first starting out is not about techniques, it's about confidence and mindset. If someone's new and nervous about adventure riding, then telling them to just commit is like yelling at someone to relax when they're having a panic attack. It's not going to work well. People need support, not pressure. You can't force confidence onto someone. It might be that it's actually not a technical thing you need to tell them, but it's encouragement. You got this. Hey, you're doing great. That section was really tough. Even if it wasn't tough for you, it might have been tough for them. On more than one occasion, I've had situations where I didn't need help knowing what to do. I just needed reminding that I could do it. And finally, less is more. Sometimes one good tip is all someone needs. Not a masterclass, not your whole life story, just that one thing that they're going to remember. The key thing about advice is you've got to actually remember it. So if it's complicated, you're not going to remember it. So simple, succinct lines make a difference. So if someone's trying to cross a challenge, don't give them 7 different body position methodologies and a whole conversation around clutch modulation and then a 5-minute monologue around tire pressures. Just say that one thing and let them get on with it. So my advice to you is to don't inflict your help on people. Ask them questions. They may even discover the solutions themselves. And then keep the advice short and to the point. And then if you're looking for short and to the point adventure tours, make sure you check out MotoRides.com.au. There you can search for a duration of weekend and then select your state and your experience level, and you can find all the best rides around Australia. You can also get short and to the point t-shirts at MotoRides.com.au/shop.